snowing outside or not? Huh? It's cold, no? Yeah. People online, nice and warm? In your room? Yeah? Okay. You hear me okay? Yeah, okay. It's okay. Yeah, so the last evening, no? Last evening of this series of the Nagarjuna's commentary on Bodhicitta. Yeah, so I was planning to do a few verses, and then if I don't cough too much, then maybe the transmission. Some people ask for that, right? Yeah. So before we start, then of course generate correct motivation to generate bodhicitta in your mind for a particular purpose and realize emptiness for a particular purpose. And then as well in order to achieve enlightenment. And why? In order to, we have a bit of causal motivation to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. So generate that motivation for yourself to attend the teaching, the session today for that purpose, right? Yeah, so generate correct motivation. And then imagine in front Sakyamuni Buddha surrounded by the different lineage, the masters of the lineage, method and wisdom, and surrounding yourself countless beings undergoing the suffering of samsara, in particular all-pervasive compounding form of suffering, and look upon them and then think you have to lead them beyond that, and that's why you start with the activity of leading them in the prayers. So based on that, we recite the prayers. Yeah.
To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides and then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, colour like gold, to you I prostrate. Thus free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Saviour having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, and the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to Dhamma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teachings of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death.
I prostrate to
the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on a mass of Vulturous mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time the Bodhisattva Mahasatthva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasatthva Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any son of a lineage train who wishes to practice the activities of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasatthva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharavatiputra: Shariputra, any son of a lineage or daughter of a lineage who wishes to practice the activities of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no eye element, and so on up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on up to and including no aging and death and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra, the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra, the perfection of wisdom, is declared: Tayata gate gate para gate para samgate bodhisoha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasatthva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasatthva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying: well said, son of a lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, and the Venerable Sharavatiputra and the Bodhisattva Mahasatthva Arya Avalokiteshvara and those surrounding in their entirety, along with the worlds of gods, humans, asuras, and Gadavas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan.
I prostrate to the
and then with bikinis and the 3 chakras who abide in the holy yoga of using space. By your powers of clairvoyance and magical emanation, look after a practitioner like a mother her child.
Akasamarasana samarayapi
Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisoha. By the teachings of the 3 supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and harmful conditions to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, and may there be auspiciousness and perfect happiness here, right now. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to the Guru is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. Please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. And after death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of black and white karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativities and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativities and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking samsaric pleasures is a door to all suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be relied upon. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate the strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Please bless me to generate the strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop only bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. Please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages and the essence of the Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy and never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of a Holy Guru. Please bless me to realize the teachings of a Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, may I never be separated from perfect Gurus. May I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages in the path, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. May I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. O Sajipuki Joshimeto Tramriralenji Nindengem Padi Sangye Jindu Miteuayi Drokunanda Jinla Chupashon Jesun Lama Dampakena Kichukukala Gense Chuzinzi Jita Sampe Duje Zabge Chuki Chapa Wabtu Solidam Guru Rana Mandala Kamneratayami
Sangye Chodam
Sangye Chonam La Janju Badu Dani Yapsu Dagi Chushin Gibe Sonamgi Drola Penju Sangye Drupasho
Sangye
Chodan Sangye Chonam La Janju Badu Dani Yapsu Dagi Chushin Gibe Sonamgi Jola Penshi Sangye Droba Sho Sangye Chudan Sangye Janam La Janju Badu Danyin Gapsurji Dagi Chunyen Gibes Sonam Gi Jola Penshi Sangye Droba Sho
Chutunto Kangi Duznis Be Tao Danji Bawjita Go down till like yeah, so the last few verses talks about the benefits of bodhicitta, yeah, and yeah, to start maybe before that with a quote from Shantideva, I was thinking. Yeah, so Shantideva in the first chapter of the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, then Shantideva indicates the benefits of bodhicitta, yeah, and so one of the benefits in verse 14 it says, just as by the fire that will destroy the world, great sins are surely and at once consumed by it. Yeah, its benefits are thus unbounded, as the wise and loving Lord explained to Sudana. Yeah, so it talks about the mind of bodhicitta eliminates all negative karma. Yeah. So as we know, negative karma is often created in relation with others, and among the 4 opponent powers of purification, we know that the opponent power of reliance is very important. Yeah. So the opponent power of regret we have, yeah, the constructive form of regret that understands a particular negative deed that has been created in the past. Yeah. A constructive form of regret. And then we have the power of reliance, yeah, and the power of reliance is twofold, as we know, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. Why is that so? Because we always have created karma, negative actions in relation with Buddhas and sentient beings. Yeah, there's 2 types of persons, yeah, Buddhas and sentient beings. So then refuge purifies the negative karma in relation with Buddhas, and generating bodhicitta purifies the negative karma in relation to sentient beings, yeah, because now you wish to not harm them, but you wish them to lead them to enlightenment, yeah, to liberate them from all their suffering. Yeah, so that's why the power of reliance is so important, and as Shantideva indicates, that there's no negative karma that cannot be purified. Yeah, of course. The imprints, as we know, or the I should say the seeds of afflictions, that needs to be eliminated with the direct perception of emptiness. Yeah, but the purification of the result, the potential for the result to come about, that can be done with the 4 opponent powers. And then the power of reliance is bodhicitta, right? Then the power of the antidote, if you meditate on bodhicitta, then the power of the antidote is also bodhicitta. Yeah. And if you have strong bodhicitta, then your regret will be stronger, yeah, having harmed others. And also you resolve, yeah, the last power, the power of resolve will be stronger. Yeah, so you can see that bodhicitta helps us to generate regret. It is the power of reliance by itself, and it will be the antidote if you practice bodhicitta. And then the power of resolve will also automatically come, because that's your promise, right? Not to harm others anymore and to benefit them and lead them to enlightenment. So you can see from various angles that, bodhicitta is just a very important tool you can use to purify. Yeah, we know also from the Tonglen practice, yeah, the practice of taking and giving. It's a very powerful kind of practice to purify negative deeds, right? So then, from many angles we can see the benefits of bodhicitta. And then on top of that we know that, as will be mentioned in the text in a few verses down the line, that it's just because the amount of it's a vast mind that thinks about all sentient beings without exception. Yeah, and that's very vast. So also the result is vast. Yeah, so that's kind of in one of the verses says if that takes in the aspect of form, yeah, the merit takes the aspect of form, it will not fit in the 3,000-fold world systems, right? So that's kind of aspects of the incredible accumulation of merit. So in one way, very fortunate to have met teachings and to have met particular teachings explaining the Bodhisattva ideal, and then based on this text by Arya Nagarjuna, then it's just a very superior text. As we know in the beginning, it's quite some philosophy involved, but there are also some very interesting aspects around bodhicitta. So maybe I left on verse 104, right? People online, people that keep track. Okay. So the concluding verses. So I just read a few and then try to do the transmission if I survive. So then it says in verse 104, bow to them with your entire being. So meaning paying homage to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, right? They are always worthy of honor in the three worlds. These guides of the world reside are representatives of the Buddha. That means that we know the Bodhisattvas, they are the children of the Buddha. And why are they the children of the Buddha? Because they will become a Buddha themselves. We know, I think, for those who have studied a bit more, in Chandakirti's supplement to the Middle Way, then also Chandakirti indicates that all the Sravakas and Prachekas, those who strive for liberation, they arise from the teachings of the Buddha. And the teachings of the Buddha arose from bodhisattvas. The teaching of the Buddha arose from a Buddha. Not to go too fast. So all Sravakas, Prachekas, and other accomplished persons, they achieved their attainment by the power of depending on the teaching of the Buddha. And the teaching of the Buddha came from the Buddha. And the Buddha arose from a bodhisattva. We know that in order to become a Buddha, you have to practice as a bodhisattva for a long period of time. So the Buddhas arose, a Buddha arises from a bodhisattva, being a bodhisattva before. And that's the bodhisattva arises from bodhicitta. And then bodhicitta arises from great compassion as being the substantial cause, as we talked about previously, the causal aspiration. So then Chandakirti praises great compassion for that purpose. It's very interesting because great compassion is the root for all those other developments and then eventually benefiting beings later on as a Buddha, right? So that's kind of very interesting aspect related, maybe to this verse. Then next verse, 105, there it says, this awakening mind is stated to be the highest idea of the great vehicle. So with an absorbed, determined effort, generate this awakening mind. So we have to, generate this awakening mind with effort as best as we can. And then it says in the next verse, to accomplish self and others' welfare, no other means exist in the world apart from the awakening mind. To date, the Buddhas saw no other means. So if you want to progress quick, if you want to benefit beings in the world, then the best way to do that is generating bodhicitta, generate the awakening mind. And we also know the story of Atisha. When Atisha was in Bodhgaya, and those who've been in Bodhgaya, they know there's this stupa. You can go around, and there's all these images of the Buddhas, of different Buddhas, right? And so each direction there's a kind of whole set of Buddhas. So when Atisha was walking around the stupa and was thinking how to achieve enlightenment most quickly, then all the Buddhas in the stupa, they're on the outside, right? So we've been there, and they know what I'm talking about. So they start having a conversation with each other. Bodhicitta, bodhicitta, bodhicitta. So then Atisha understood that the best way to move quick on the path is to generate bodhicitta, and then we know the story. Then he decided to go to what's currently Indonesia, Seling, right? So to meet Lama Selingpa, And then in those days, traveling was a bit more complicated than at the present time. But we went all the way there to receive for many years instructions from Lama Tselingpa, right? Yeah, oral instructions. Although Atisha was one of the greatest masters in India, next to Shantipa and Naropa, one of the greatest masters or scholars. But still, to receive the pit instructions underwent along a lot of hardships to go there and receive these pit instructions, right? Yeah. Then it says in 107, the merit that is obtained from mere generation of awakening mind, if it were to assume a form, it will fit more than the expanse of space. Yes, we just talked about. There's very quotations in the sutras regarding if it takes the aspect of form, it won't fit in the 3,000-fold world systems. Yeah. Then the next verse, it says, a person who for an instant meditates on the awakening mind, the heap of merit obtained from this, not even the conquerors can measure. Yeah, so we meditate on bodhicitta and we think, but if you really think that karma has the power to increase, yeah, and the potentials of meditation on bodhicitta produces, yeah, future states of mind that wants to meditate on bodhicitta again and again. So based on that, you cannot really measure the amount of merit, the positive things we create by just meditating on it for a short period of time. Yeah, then of course the more we contemplate, the stronger it becomes. And with bodhicitta is you need a lot of habituation. Yeah, so with emptiness, as we discussed before, you just get it one day. Yeah, you just realize emptiness. Emptiness is actually easier to get an uncontrived realization of, right? But bodhicitta, it just takes more time. It is just by the power of habituation, right? So that it needs a lot of time of contemplation, on a daily basis. A precious mind that is free of afflictions, this is the most unique and excellent jewel. Yeah, it can be neither harmed nor stolen by robbers as the maras of afflictions. Yeah, so we know that physical possessions can be taken away, but the mental developments nobody can take away. Yeah, we often say that even at a time of death, if the most powerful gods or spirits appear, they can kill you at maximum things they can do, but they can never shoot you to another rebirth. Yeah, that's up to yourself. Yeah, so this awakening mind, if you generate that nobody can take that away. Yeah, so there's kind of an inner jewel. Yeah, if you read the Jataka tales, there's a very interesting analogy of the inner jewel of listening to the Dharma. Yeah, the great benefits of listening to the Dharma, and also the developments of the different states of mind. Yeah, so that can never be stolen away or taken away. Yeah, just as aspirations of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas are as revering, likewise those who immerse themselves in the awakening mind must hold firm their thought. Yeah, so and the awakening mind just takes quite some time to generate, as we just talked about. So you need to generate bodhicitta. That's a scriptural reference. Yeah, you need either calm abiding, samadhi, or what we call a nyetok, means a preliminary to that. Yeah, that's almost having achieved calm abiding. Yeah, so either of those two you have to accomplish. Yeah, so that indicates that you need quite some concentration, to get bodhicitta. And why is that so? Because, as we just said, you need a very long period of habituation, of bodhicitta. Yeah, so every time you get distracted, then there's no progress. Yeah, it's just what we call the waste of time. So you need, a very strong concentration. And if you have this calm abiding, then you just meditate on bodhicitta for a few decades and for a few lifetimes, and then you get it. Yeah? So this is kind of a long-term process. Yeah, and we know if you read the biographies, and that's very inspiring. I mentioned that a few times. The book of the Kadam, yeah, that's translated by Thubten Jinpa. The Atisha's text on the Jewel Rosary for Bodhisattvas, and there's two parts to the book of the Kadam. One part is a conversation between Atisha and Duntompa around that text. Yeah? So it's kind of a commentary on this mind training text. The second part of the book is talking about the previous lifetimes, yeah, of Duntompa and Ngolotsawa and Atisha. Yeah? And then mostly about Duntompa, and then one of the stories goes that Duntompa in previous lifetimes, meditated for decades on bodhicitta. Yeah, we know Duntompa is in the same continuity of consciousness as His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, right? So then you know that, over many lifetimes there was a lot of contemplation on bodhicitta, right? Meditation on bodhicitta. Yeah. Even with wonder, you should strive, as explained here in the preceding lines. Thereafter, you will yourself realize Samattabhadra's great enlightening deeds. Yeah? So we know Samattabhadra was very skillful in visualization and vast kind of aspects of the training, in particular making offerings and visualize that as vast as we know. When you do prostrations and then you just don't prostrate just one person, but you imagine there are kind of countless emanations of yourself making the prostrations, or you do mandala offerings, and then you think countless emanations of yourself engage in the mandala offering, and every atom is in a mandala by itself, and they fill the whole space like that. That was Samattabhadra's skillful means. And we know time of the Buddha, when this little child in a very poor area offered sand to the Buddha, in his begging bowl, but then thinking that sand was gold. As a young boy, so then he had this discriminating factor. He's offering gold to the Buddha, and that causes him to be reborn as King Ashoka. The king was a very powerful ruler in India, and built a lot of stupas, or holy shrines for the Buddha's relics, right? And related aspects of the Buddhist doctrine, right? So that you can see it helps. It depends on your intention. Intention is so crucial in our preliminary practices we engage in. That the visualization and intention is very important. Then the last verse, it says, by praising the awakening mind, healed by excellent conquerors, the incomparable merits I have obtained today from this act, composing, may through this all sentient beings, submerged in the wave of the waves of existent ocean, travel on the path trodden by the leader with biceps. So so that's like Nagarjuna's last line, that dedicating his work for all beings to enter the path of the Buddhas, right, and the part of the Bodhisattvas, and go all the way up to Buddhahood. So that concludes the text. Then I was thinking, some people asked, and there's time to do the transmission. So I received transmission from His Holiness Dalai Lama in Bulgaria. I don't remember exactly the date, but this booklet is from 2006. Could be that year, could be later. His Holiness Dalai Lama has given on a few occasions. So that will take 30 pages. It'll take about 20 minutes. So sit back and, how do they say it in the plane? Sit back and enjoy. Enjoy. But you can also just read through the text for yourself. As long with a transmission, as long as you don't talk or don't fall asleep, because you have to hear the text. So you can just maybe read for yourself if you like, or just contemplate the things we discussed over the last few Yeah. What is it? A few months, right? Yeah. Okay, so then I just read, and then you just listen for about 20 minutes, and you can read or contemplate, or recite a few mantras, not out loud, but just for yourself, as long as you hear the words. Yeah? Jagada Bodhicitta Biwa Radnana Mapega de Janju Sem Gidawa Shejawa Pel Doje Sembala Chazelo Mobo Tamje Dandawa Pombo Kamdan Gijegi Sundan Simba Nangbang Ba Je Dami Juda Meba Namni Be Rang Sem Duna Dune Magye Ba Tomba Nigi Rajino She Jawa Jungo Sangye Jomden De Nandan Janju Semba Jembo De Nam Giji Dawa Janju Semba Jembo Ju Gewe De Jindu Dagi Kyang Sem Jema Dawa Nang Dawa Dam Dawa Nam Dawa Dam Uju Ma Jungwa Nam Uju Jungwa Nam Jung Yongze Nan Le Debe Nam Yongze Nan Le Debe Jir Du De ne sun de ni bo janju chi ge ba de janju chen ba sam ge o janju zen ba sa na gi go ju ju ba nang gi de dar kyun zo gi nang ba janju gi zen me ba ran shin chen ge ne de dang ba janju gi zen gong ba to gi ge ba ja we yin ba de je de ge ran shin shi ba jiao. Yeah, so forgot to explain, but the transmission to receive, there can be great benefit. Yeah, if you, Kidusensei Rinpoche used to say that if you, for example, the Vajrakata Sutra, if you recite it once having received the transmission, has the same amount of benefit as reciting it 100 times without transmission. Yeah, that text is a bit longer than this one. Then another important aspect is to get the realizations of the path. Yeah, and the understandings of the instructions. Then having received the transmission puts very incredible imprints in your mind to quicker progress. And if you see people like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and many important high realized beings, still, although they already realized, they still take transmissions again and again, yeah, from various. And yeah, the transmission of this text comes from Nagarjuna, right, all the way to all the masters of the lineage, all the way up to His Holiness Dalai Lama, you know. So it's kind of quite special, yeah. And then it carries the blessing of the author, in this case Nagarjuna, and it carries the blessings of all the masters in between, yeah. So up till His Holiness Dalai Lama, right. So that's quite special, you know. If you really think in those lines, it's quite special transmission. And yeah, in our tradition we put a lot of emphasis on transmissions. That's one other benefit. If you reach the part of accumulation, yeah, of the great part of accumulation, which is called the continuity of the Dharma, yeah, if you reach that stage, then you will remember all the things you received before. So the more you receive now, the more you remember, and the quicker you progress. Yeah, so there's just many benefits just by hearing. And we know the story of Vasubandhu, right? When Vasubandhu was reciting his text, then outside the window in the tree was this pigeon, yeah, showing up at the right time. He was just sitting there, and then Vasubandhu recited the text again and again. And this bird, no motivation, right? So birds are hearing the sound, yeah, quite often. Then his next life, he was reborn in the village down below as a young boy, and he became a scholar in the Abhidharma, yeah, because that was Vasubandhu was reciting the Abhidharma Kosha, right? But when it came to other texts like the Madhyamaka view or text like that, then it was very difficult for the boy to later on when he developed as a scholar. Yeah, so you can see that just receiving an imprint of a text, yeah, puts imprints in your mind to later on receive again, and not just receiving, but understand it much quicker. Yeah, so that's the more we receive, the better, I should say. Yeah. Okay, so just think about those benefits, and then maybe you can listen for 20 minutes. Otherwise, you think, Janju Samgi Dani Belden Doje Namdu Namde de Janju Sangi Gombani Siba Jigme de Dagi Je Sangi Nangi Janju San Tadang Pumna Tadang Pozo Namrigi Togba Namgi Majeba Tadoni Zeni Je Ninje Lemba Semgi Ni Beba Gomba Java Yin Tuje Dani Sangi Ge Janju Zemde Dagde Gom Mutik Mutik Chengi Kandakpa Dagi Dagde Rikpa Namjene Pumnam Kungi Nang Kanji Negyan Nemayin Bombo Olazo Ponam Yogi De Tami Yanda De Yandagi Ngobo Mi Kanda Dagda Mida Ni Tendan Tempe Ngobo Mi Dase Jade Yume Na Jeba Jeja Kalata Chöche Yöna Chönamla Jigde Nini Chöba Ju Kanji Takba Dönje Ba Rimdan Chikcha Ringtaji Jagime Ba Deche Jiro Nangde Ni Takba Ngobo Deme Ni Gyalde Nuna Jide De Ni Chicha Ngujen Gyur Kanji Ngujen La Debe Deni Takdan Nuden Min Gelder Ngo Nan Tamin De Ngo Nam Takde Keje Kancher Mida Ngo La Jeba Poni Kakba Mi Dakso Jawa Jikten De Pompo Kamdan Geje Dan Suzan Zundan Zimba Nidagi Loye Namba Zomba Yu Pemba Cheba Namgi Ni Sudan Sorwa Duje Dan Duje Namshe Pombo Nga De Danet Namla Zon Gangni Chigi Tada Yang Suni Uba Duda Yang Duda Nan Sorwa Chuyi Chowa Dra Duje Migyu Dansun Shin Duje Jujen Dandala Namje Guma Dabo Je Pombo Tempa De Dabu Janju Semba Namla Son Jang Jungjen Je Rajen Jen Sogi Pombo Rade Je Lama Sume Nidu Ni Mena Migyo Jimna Drup Deda Namgi Mizozo Kamnam Sheba Deda Ni Geje Lani Sungwa Dan Zinba Yani Sheba Ja Sundu Mejen Wampo Me Jebo Wampo Jinde Me Jeba Podang Geba Da Yanda Geba Rigmayin Yanda Gewa Rigmayin Sude Wanjen Gemin Deni Pompo Leje Dedeyen Duwa Denam Geje Na Tsoba Deyan Midu De Chogi Jewa Yi Duden Layan Jeba Tong Kandan Jakshe Gitakpa Deni Duden Jida De Jiro Duni Namjigla Tate Sheba Jugba Gyu Yon Suni Kanyenba Deni Shenla Shender Gyu Pume Suni Jigbo La Rodan Deja Sawa Yin Gungu Jachen Gyugi Janjen Ki Namje Namba Toba Sunna Gaza Namba Toba Sum Yeno Dojun Baye Doje Baye Dunje Ba Milanube Jimye Nam Mina Zeba Negabla Doje Bada Geba Me Sundan Zimba Ngo Yi Namje Nangwa Kanyen Ba Nanje Leni Tadebe Jirel Duni Gajang Me Jirel Deje Ngoba Ngowa Ni Jidu Namba Gunde Me Namshe Sosa Nangwa De Zugi Namba Nangwa Gyu Jidage Wa Semyun Ba Gyume Migyu Dizai Dongye Lazo Doge Lazo Dongwa Tara Dejin Susan Nangwa Yin Dagde Zimba Dogwe Je Pombo Kamso Denba Yin Semzang Pola Nine Ni Geje Olazo Geda Keljen Namgi De Yangpan Namba Jeba Mawala Nazo Deni Semzu Du Namje Ranjin Gan She Na Deni Jeba Ja Deda Tamje Semzam She Tuwa Temba Kanje De Jeba Namgi Daje Dagba Ni Pamba Chir Inter Dani Men Kuda Dani Shen Wang Dan Yong Su Juba Dani Ni Tongba Nida Kasatuni Dani Tonani Jigbo Yi Ngo Semla Takba Yin Tekjen Kawa Dani La Zula Dami Nyamba Ni Rang Sem Dune Magye Ba Sem Ge Sangye Gini Do De Sun Neljo Juba Neljo Juba Namgi Ni Rangi Semgi Rangi Semgi Wanje de Neda Yongze Neyong Neyo Yune Dakbe Sem Suze Rari Joyo Jo Deba Deva Kangyin Deba Ganyin Deni Me Maung Pani Toba Me Neje Olazo Neje Neme Yongzu Ya Data Bala Kala Yu Jita Dewa Jita Wade Mi Jita Tawa Demi Nangwa Jita Dejimi Namshe Dani Nashe Dami Ngo De Tenshen Namba Sheba Mi Jita Gaulendan Danye Wa Changi Yude Yongsu Gur De La Sem Yumin De Semdan Denshe Nangwa Gyu Dejin Gyunshe Namshe Ni Demen Demba Shindu Ni Gangi Druwa Yowa Gyu Zeje Sipa Zimba Je Jitar Gyazo Dani Shin Semni Megyang Yowa Gyu Dejin Gyunshe Namshe Ni Luden Nene Yowa Mi Lume Nani Je Nume Nani Namba Je Yume Je Yondo Na Deyi Zuzu Rari Ni Jida Zhegyang Zo Zeba Ki Zuzu Rari Ni Joba Sozan Rari Ni Zoba De Ni Ngobo Ni De Zu De Ni De Jin De Kaza De Yin Zoba Ye Minu Nume Je Ja Nume Je Zoba Yin Ran La Nge Jin Zenda La Nge Bagye Jawa Je Dr. Duba Meba Ni Kyam Nam Gana Rata Jugba Yin Sheba Sheja Toba De Sheja Meba Sheba Me Deta Nani Dindanani Rija Da Rije Meje Chimi De Semni Minzam Yimba De Mila Chen Gawa Yang Minzam Duni Namrik Da Ming Yang Rangshin Meba Yin Nane Dejin Ru De Jiro Lam Yana Yani Yana Niga Yana Gine Badu Da Yawanangi Semanye Deje Guma Ranshin Sem Gado Yida Yewala Sundan Simba Zundan Sungwa Dani Simba Gebo Bume Maning Zo Ngo Wazemni Ngo Wazeni Neba Min Dona Sangye Namgi Ni Suwa Mayu Simi Gyu Ranshin Meba Ranshin Chen Teta Buna Zigba Gyu Ngo Wajeja Namto Yin Namto Meba Tongwa Yin Gande Namto Nang Gyu Wa Deni Tongni Kala Yu Toja Namba Zen Dejin Shagnam Gima Zi Gana Olazu Gana Toja Yu Deni Janju Yu Ma Yin Zeni Mejing Kewa Me Yu Gyu Ma Yin Yu Gyu Ma Yin Alam Da Gadan Janju Semdani Janju Nime Janju Nini Tseni Jen Janju Nimbo La Juba Dani Jembo Sangye Dan Zeden Kungi Zeden Kungi Dugun Du Tongba Gendan Tsungba Gen Deje Du Nam Jeju Ju Nam Kungi Shi Shin Gyuma Dan Zimba Jime Jiba Jije Ba Tongba Nide Takdu Gom Geme Dani Toni Dan Dame Jeja Tombani Dani Nam Dani Memba Kangomba Deji Gomba Jawa Min Jeba Min Gedami Ginado Gi Gunje Bani Zeni Chen Toni Sangye Gizung Shen Deda Toni Mayin Deda Tomba Ni Mishe Zemla Migba Meba Yi Neva Nanga Zeni Yin Deda Toni Gomba Yin Gomba Ni Nanga Gomba Sheba Yin Toni Sengye Dayini Mawa Tamje Dagba Zo Kanda Olazo Kanda Deda Shu Deda Deni Toni Gyur Kangi Namshe Kije Ma Deyi Deni Dagma Yin Semni Mita Ni Yena Tomba Ni De Tomba Ni De Jidaga Dona Sangye Namgi Ni Semni Mita Ni Jena Deda Semni Domba Je Deje Jena Deje Jene Sheme Yu Doma Ni Ne Semgi Ni Rangjin Ta De Meba Yu Ngogo Rangjin Giruba Rangjin Meni Zoba Mi Dege Zuna Dege Zuna Sengi Ni Dagi Neba Pamba Ye Rangi Rangjin Lede Pa De Ni Chunam Chuni Min Jeta Jeta Bu Jeta Buram Jeta Buram Ngara Kaza Jeta Buram Ngawa Dami Rangjin Zawa Jin De Jin Jun Jijin Dam Jegi Rangjin Dongba Ni De Toni Rangjin Rombe Rangjin De Ba Gangjin Cheba Mawa Min De Je Dagba Ni De Yang Gangjin Mawa Ma Ye No Marik Mare Nazang Kangwa Ye Tatuk Yen La Chuni Gi Tene Jungwa Jawa Ni Gowa Migyur Gyuda De Yen La Chuni Golo De Ziba Lamde Gowa De La Jende Semchen Gang Le De Jebe De Ba Me Chita Melo La De Na Rangshen Shengi Golo Shengi Gigo Nangyo Wa De Ni Deni de be ma yen je de me yang ye de ye me de jin bombo ni zam jor si ba jen de ge wa dang bombo me ba ke nam gi da wa ge wa ja wa do na ton ni chen nam le chen na ton ba ye wa yu je wa le je long je ba kun zo du ni ge wa den ji da nga ye da da ni de jin ge wa zo le ye de ye den jin de wa da jun wa mi lang yu ma Milan Gumba Dansun de Junangula Gewani Nanga Nayang Gala Miyu de Gune Gugi Domba Ye Domba Gaza Gune Gitomba Deni Gewa Mewa To Jugi Junangini Gewa Me Doni Yimba Doni Indera de Je Dona Pombo Namna Ni Chogyon Jeni Jeba Yen Jeta Deni Jejen Jeba Na Kunzo Guni Jemi Gyur Kunzo Lani Tate Ba Deni Migba Mayen De Kunzo Tomba Ni De She Tomba Gona Kunzo Bien Tomba Gona Kunzo Bien Mena Migyo Ngeba Jun Jawa Jeda Mita Dejino Kunzo Nyumon Le Jungwa Le Jung Leni Semle Jungwa Yin Semni Bakja Namgi Sa Baja Dala Dewa Semni Chiwani Sem Chiwani Mimi Gyu Mimi Deni Tokba Deni Tokba Dodo Gyu Dejin Nidan Yangda Ta Chamya Meda Dundam Ni Janjo Semjo Deni Dan Toni Duyang Jeba Yin Kanda Toni Mi Jeba Deda Tarba Tema Yin Dodo Jiba Chunra Ni Chunba Deda Korba Gyur Deda Toni Deta Tomba Ni De Ni Najo Pani Gomja Ne Jengi Dun Kaza Sengi Dun Gya Sengi Dun La Chakbolo Sengi Dun La Chakbolo Jungwa Gyuwa Tezome Kandan Pada Madani Sheju Olazoji Neje Gyuwa Dagba Pombo Jewa Gyuwa Yin Semjin Deda Namla Ni Jawa Olazo Jeba Zuba Gyuwa Ja Ziba Zunra Semjin Semjen Ni Nyumon Mei Dunamla Dagi Dunal Jimba Tar Dejin Dewa Deje Dewa Jimbari Jiden Dejo Ngedro Yi Dudan Midun Dudamid Debo De Senjen Namla Pemba Dang Ba Olazo Neva Leni Nobalangi Jungwa Yu Senjen Demba Zangengi Gola Gopan Lame Gona Lambe Nigyo Na Lada Mi Longju Da Zangdang Wangbo Dakbo Da Jiden Gyongwa De Da Senjen Pemba Samgi Senjen Pemba Sam Shamshigi Mada Pani Rosum de Gayang Mela Tsami Chachi Yu Semna Dujo Yida Su Dunyal Namba Dumango Senjen Namgi Nyongo Nongwa Gang Deni Semne Nule Jung Degom Pensu Degba Dan Ziba Yini Dunyal Ni Suba Kashin Kashin Same de Semjen Nyumba Debu Yin Sangye Janju Semni Dan Dejo Dani Dani Ngezo Do Semjen Dagi Namyen Yang Nizo Nowa Nizo Sheba Jang Owa Kungi Tenja She Rangi Luji Sungwa Ja Semjen Namla Chakja Wa Dushin Beme Dushe Beba Pangba Ja Nyuman Namgi Chakja Wa Janje Member to me Nam Semje Yonze Mado We Zozang Yun Janju Top Data Penda Mi Pemba Dewo Jungwe Juvena Data Kichik Data Kichik Rangdun Jajin Jita Ninja Daba Zawa Jen Janju Nugo Lejungwa Shendun Jigdal Janju Ni Gyawazen Nam Gomba Je Kanshik Gomba Dagba Ni Jengi Dunel Gije Na Dumden Samden Dewa Done Gyamen Narme Payam Jugba Je Deni Ngozar Dengao Deni Damba Zulu Jo Deda Namgi Ranlu Dan Nor Nam Jimbo Ngozami Junam Domba Deje Na Ledan Debo Temba Kang Deni Ngoza Wa Kaza Deni Ngoza We Ngoza Medu Olazo Medu Jung Zanjen Kyaba Samba Chen Deda Siba Dab Yang Jejung De Juniba Migue Be Juye Pema Damashin Kunzan Lazo Gewa Ze Toni Yeje Meye Ni Nyumon Bujing Semegi Jita Ninja Lagyoji Ninja Manda Ninja Wanda Gyuana Shedan Dumba Daro Gaza Shedan Damda Roba Dan Gabne Jungwa Gandon Janju Sanju Chenje Janji Chenje Duzomba Jugi Korba Danam Kun La Juba Dan Dejin Kunde Dejin Duni Nalele Deba Ngobo Zebayin Zangdang Wangbo Gyeju Dan Dagbo Suzu Daju Suzu Dubze Na Dowa Duwa Jeba Yi Tuje Ranshin Chenka Zi Ziba Lamla Ziba Lanzo Gyunamla Ngeze Dundu Tekba Chen Jungwa Yeshe Niba Yon Sungwa Yente Dunda Min Jita Sangye Gima Ku Jita Yeshe Le Bonje Dingze Nyungwa Gyugyo Ba Nete Deda Neba Yu Gyana Nazo Zugi Ni Sanjin Dunla Sanjidun Chagyojin Sunam Yeshe Zosa Na Sangye Janjo Toba Gyur Nige Baja Yu Beje Baja Sabun Zoba Yen Sabun Dedan Chakba Le Siba
Nyugo Gewa Je Jigden Gonam Jidon Gona Giden Ba Sanjin Samdam Janjin Samwa Jedowa Jidin Duni Tamao Mambo Namba Mambo Tade Gyu Sajin Gyajin Saji Gyajin Jewa Dan Lala Niga Tsani Jen Tate Tempa Yin Yin Ya Ni Tonda Ni Me Tonda Ni Ne Tate Me Suznam Sunandani Dunanani Zananda Sangye Paro Jimba Da Deda Janjo Jeda Semgi Cha Gungen Namgi Sunwa Ye Lunga Ye Lunani Ne Takba Ni Dedar Semjun Dunje Ba Toni Zumba Manamla Zuba Cheba Zuba Ni Yumin Gorba Nane Gonanan de Lani Dani Jedi Mineba Deje Sangye Ginam Deje Sangye Namgi Ni Mine Nale Dede Share Ninja Roje Nyanjurunja Sonam Gyu Toni Roni Chokyo Ba Dagdan Shendun Drubdun Du Kandu Deda Gyazayin Mobo Kungi De la du ziba sunna tak je sangye dundan sangye duni zonju na jiten demba de dak shuk janjo almost finished janjo zemde tek de jambo joni yinge cheba je cheba de namba shakba beba yi Janju Semni Geba Yu Ramdan Shendun Drubdun Du Sida Sina Tasha Yoma Yen Janju Semni Matok Par Sangye Gini Ngada Masik Kasa Sangye Gi Nga Ta Masik Janju Semge Tsamge Ni Sunang Pungpo Kanto Ba Gyalte Sujen Yena Ni Namga Kanyang Lede Leni La Gebo Kanshik Gebo Kanshik Kichik San Janju Semni Gomje Ba De Sunang Pomba Ni Gyawa Yigan Dami Ja Mimon Meba Rinjin Sem Deni No Chok Deni No Jo Chigbo De Nyumon Judo Chogungi Numento Jawa Min Jitar Korwa Sangye Dan Janju Semba Mulamni Miyo Detar Loye Ni Janju Shemjun Namgi Ja Ngoza Gigyang Gyoja Gi Jeda Jebala Labe Gi Jeda Kunzang Chubayi Rani Gini Tokbar Gyur Gyalchuk Namgi Töba Janju Semba Nigi Töba Jeba Nesun Nam Sungwa Mebe De Da Gi Toba Kayen Ba De Jejibe Gyazo Londe Lo Nande Nuba Yi Semjen Kan Ni Wangbo Ten Nembe Lam De Joa Sho Janju Sem Ki Jawa Lobun Dagni Chembo Papa Ludub Gi Zeba Zoso Sa Kyaga Gi Kembo Kuna Yaka Dance Lotsawa Rapshi Shenengi Gyuching Shuglagi Kyaga Gi Kembo Ken Ka Varma Dan Bölge Lotsawa Patsap Nimachak Gi Chusosa. So that's the Courthouse. Then I read a bit from the beginning for spaciousness, as we normally do. Then you think that in all future lifetimes also you receive the text again and again. Kyageda Bodhi Chita Bivarana Nama Pugadu Janju Semgi Javaje Java Pel Doje Sembala Jazela Mubotamje Danda Wa Pumpo Kamdan Kijegi Sundan Zimba Nambang Ba Juda Meba Namni Ba Rangsem Dune Maye Ba Tomba Nigi Ranchino Shejawa Junzo Mubazang Yumidi Namdan Janju Semba Jembanangi Chidawa Janju Semgitu Gewa Jinda Dagi Kyang Sam Jama Dawa Nami Dawa Mado Nami Do Umajimbo Lojin Umajimbo Yonzan Deva Yonzan Deji de Gizun and Bojanju Zemichi but Janju Champ or Sam gave what you Janju Zamba Zangi Guna Jumu Banangi then the Kunzogi Sengi Janju Zamba Rajin Kibana Dun down by Janju Go about top the Kiba Jawa Yimbe Deji Dita Ranshin Shiba Jao. Yeah, so that concludes the transmission, and that concludes the text, and that concludes everything. Not everything, but this cycle. Yeah. So we have some plans for the future. We have many plans. So next year on the Tuesdays, right? Tuesdays today. Yeah. Then we're planning to do the 400 verses of Arya Deva. Yeah, especially for people like yourself, and that is a text with a lot of Lamrim aspects in it, and there's also quite some philosophy in there. Yeah, so that will be happening. Next year if we don't die in between. Yeah. So if then any questions left, we didn't cover kind of difficult points today, but if there's any questions regarding the text left, then we can do a few. Otherwise, we can dedicate. Yeah.
Does anyone in the Gompa have a question?
Yeah. Don't
Anyone
have to.
online?
No.
Okay. Terrell.
Yeah, of course.
Terrell?
There we go. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you so very much for the teachings and the transmission.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. I just have a quick question about transmissions themselves, if I may ask.
Yeah.
Is it correct that it has the power only if it's heard live? Like if we were to listen to this recording, the video for this again, with this transmission, does it have the same, how is that considered?
Transmissions from recording, you mean?
Yeah.
There's
and going along with that, just as you were telling us, reminding us the story of Vasubandhu and the pigeon who later becomes like such a brilliant student in that particular area. I'm wondering, is there any benefit if depending on your answer, say for those of us
play the recording 100 times.
Animals in our household, right? Is there any benefit for them? Take the earbuds off and play for them later. So thank you so much.
Yeah, so definitely there's always benefit for beings in animal realm, for example. And you can see that Lama Zopa Rinpoche in certain centers recites or plays recordings of recitations of sutras or mantras for that purpose, right? Yeah, so that's definitely also in the monastery when we recite texts. Then we always been advised to have the discriminating factor of non-human beings who are listening, and then you like spirits, you actually do the generosity of the Dharma to them, right? Yeah. Transmissions from recordings, there's quite some debate, right? So certain high realized beings like Lama Zopa Rinpoche and Kiri Sentam Rinpoche, they have indicated that it's possible, and even His Holiness Dalai Lama in certain occasions, but that needs probably a few conditions to be present. Yeah, so that if the student sees that teacher as the Dharmakaya and all those factors are complete and strong faith is there, then certain interpretations are there that it's possible. Right, but there's also other teachers who say no, it has to be live. So there's just a bit of debate. So it's always better live. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So you are live. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. Then perfect timing. As we always have perfect timings. Yeah, so then let's dedicate that's it? Dedicate the merits, of this whole year of exploring various aspects of emptiness, in the various schools of Buddhist philosophy, and as well as the last few lines or last few verses regards to generating bodhicitta.
Yeah, so dedicate that, of course, to realize emptiness and get the realization of bodhicitta, not only for yourself, but for all sentient beings without exception. And as the transmission came through His Holiness Dalai Lama, also pray for a long and healthy life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all His Holiness wishes to be spontaneously fulfilled, teaching of the Dharma. And yeah, I'm here in Jamyang only through the kindness of Lama Gyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche. So also for Rinpoche to swiftly return and without any obstacles be of the greatest benefit for sentient beings and the Dharma. And similarly, Tiso Rinpoche also to be of the greatest benefits and quickly, swiftly return. And all the teachers teach the true path to enlightenment, long and healthy lives. And in all lifetimes may we never be parted from them, and may all beings generating the realization of the Lam Rim without any obstacles. And then thinking that, in all future lifetimes also never be parted from the virtuous friends and quickly progress on the stage of path to enlightenment, taking into account that you making the dedication and the dedication itself and the aim we dedicate towards too is emptiness. It's empty of inherent existence, right? It's in the nature of dependent origination, and that's exactly why the prayers will bear fruit in the future. Yeah, so take that all to account. Then, we can dedicate with the prayers. Yeah.
We'll include a short Thanksgiving mandala first. Sajipuki Josimeto Jamrira Lenji Nindegem Padi Sange Shindu Mite Uai Jokunanda Shinla Chupa Shonjesun Lame Kuserapten Chinam Katrinle Chuchunge Padam Losantempe Drume Sasunge Droemun Setatu Negyuchidam Guru Rana Mandala Kamnerataya Dagi Jine Sape Gewadi Tendandroa Kana Kampenta Gepar Jesun no Sandrapai Tempe Nimporindu Sajeshu Garerawe Korwe Zinkamso Pendan Dewa Malu Jamwene Chere Zinwan Tenzin Gyasoi Shabe Site Badu Tengyuchi. Homage to Manjushri, the youthful, in this way to the awakened one, the transcendent Lord, the wisdom Kaya, spontaneously arisen. This single eye of wisdom, entirely unobscured, the light of wisdom, forever shining brightly. To you, Arapasana, I pay homage. To you, the very embodiment of wisdom, I bow. Thus it is explained by all the perfect Buddhas. This concludes this teaching spoken by the transcendent Lord Shakyamuni, the essence of the perfect recitation of the names of the wisdom being, the transcendent Lord Manjushri. Tu tenji dahajam gyungewe tencho gyo bella gaje ravzupa sundenyu misim pachuku je dadrel tempe beldu nyu jonshu janchu senchu rinpoche magye panange gyuchi Gepa nyampa mepaya gone gonde bawa sho toni tawa rinpoche magye panange gyuchi gepa nyampa mepaya gone gonde bawa sho. And as long as space remains, as long as migrators remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the suffering of migrators. May the king of Dharmas and Kappa's way of a Dharma practice flourish. May the omens of obstacles be pacified and all conducive circumstances be complete. Through the power of having made single-pointed requests to you, Losundropa, may all unfortunate manifestations of a degenerated age, illness, famine, quarrelling, epidemic disease, gara spirits, interferers and so forth be pacified, and may excellent collections of conducive conditions increase. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. By invoking the power of loving kindness and compassion of Chem raising, and through the force of making extensive prayers, may all sickness, war, fighting and famine be completely pacified, so that beings have long, healthy and happy lives. May the glorious Guru's lives be long and stable, and may all beings equaling the extent of space have happiness. May I and others, without exception, accumulate merit and purify negativities, and may we be blessed to quickly attain Buddhahood. Kyawa kundu yada lama dan treme chiki pala lo chochi sadan langi yuten rabzu ne doje changi go panyu tu sho.
Okay, thank you so much. And then, enjoy your winter break. I go sleep for a few months and then, see you on the other side. Thank you so much. Yeah.